And French presidential candidates Marine Le Pen and Emmanuel Macron have argued over the euro and terrorism in their final face-off before Sunday's presidential runoff. The two went into the debate with polls suggesting centrist Macron has a clear lead over the National Front's Le Pen. Well, I'm now joined by Pierre Purseigle. He is an associate professor of French politics and modern history at the University of Warwick. Thanks so much for joining us. An estimated 18% of the French electorate is undecided at this point. So this debate should have been crucial in swaying them one way or the other. Do you think that 18% have their minds made up today?
Well, it is very difficult to say at this stage. I think the polls coming out in the next few hours will be very revealing. What is obvious, I think, to most of us who watched the debate yesterday is that Marine Le Pen dramatically underperformed and certainly didn't do what she might have done to convince the undecided that she was the right candidate for the job, that she could be presidential, that she was well prepared, and that she would be able to allay their fears about her economic program in particular. And I think on all those counts, she failed dramatically and very surprisingly, to be honest.
Well, everyone seems to agree that this debate was different from all others in the past because of the kind of aggressive performance of the candidates, particularly Marine Le Pen. Do you agree, and do you think it marks a real change in how French politicians interact?
Well, it certainly was unprecedented in its brutality. It was a very bruising encounter. It was simply a slanging match that lasted for over 2 hours. And quite frankly, I'm hoping that this will be a one-off and that the next debate will actually give candidates the chance to set out their platforms, expose their arguments and discuss and confront them. Because at the end of the day, I'm not entirely sure that democracy was well served yesterday, and in particular because Marine Le Pen did all she could to avoid discussing her platform, and it was extremely difficult to get a sense of what she actually wanted to do, the means that she might be able to mobilize to implement her policies, or indeed the sort of president she could be. And the other thing she did really was to present this very aggressive, brutal devising figure, which is exactly not what she should have done to convince undecided voters at this stage. So it was not a very good exercise for her, but certainly not very good news for French democracy either.
Okay, we still have, we think, about a fifth of French voters undecided. And given what happened in November in the United States, do you think it's possible Le Pen could pull off what Trump did then?
Well, judging by the polls, she obviously has a huge amount of ground to make up in the next 2 days. 20 points is obviously a very large gap. I think her performance yesterday might have given her the chance to make up some of that ground, and I don't see how she could do this now. Having said this, of course, I think we've all learned the hard way that most elections in Western democracies these days are very unpredictable because the electorate is very volatile and likely to change their mind at the last minute. Having said this, the French polls have been very consistent, have been very accurate, and it's difficult to see why they would get this wrong. But then, of course, it is now in the hands of the electorate, and we will only get the final result on Sunday.
Okay, Pierre, thank you so much for joining us there from University of Warwick in the UK.